So we've been waiting to get these wheels put on. So we got them mounted, we got them balanced. I had to wait for these chrome lug nuts. Not chrome, copper lug nuts. I couldn't find true bronze, but I found these really cool copper ones. So they're better than these typical chrome tuner lugs. So here's that other pack, Pico. Thank you. Could have probably got one of those special plastic inline socket because it sure scratched them. But those look pretty good. They look a lot better than those chrome ones. Well, we got our wheels put on. We got them all bolted up. I need some rotors. The rotors are old. We returned them, but I'm just gonna buy new ones. For my research, they are 370Z rotors, so that shouldn't be too hard to find. But I think this wheel and tire combo, obviously these are the wheels that were on the car when I bought it. They were like a matte black, and they had chemical burn where someone sprayed some acid wheel cleaner or something like that on them. They looked pretty rough. So everybody does black, right? Black was a big thing 10 years ago, and I like black wheels, but I wanted something different on this car. I think with the factory gray color, because I do plan on getting it repainted, I wanted something that's not black. So we went with a matte satin bronze. So my guy up at Edmond, Oklahoma at the Powder Rangers, local powder coating company, does all my work. I think he knocked it out of the park on these wheels. The fitment of these wheels, they stick out a little bit in the rear. They're a pretty aggressive tire, but man, this car's gonna make power, so we're gonna need a lot of tire. But I think they turn out really good. The next step, obviously, is get the front bumper put on, which I bought the JDM front bumper for it. Got to get it painted. But I'm, probably a month or two out from getting the car painted and getting it to my body guy. I did try to buff the hood to try to get some of the oxidation out. Didn't work out too good. I do have my detail guy here now. He's cleaning the STI. So after he gets done with that, we're going to wet sand this to see if we can get it back. If the hood doesn't come back, we will just wrap it, because and I'm gonna pull all this chicken wire out. Obviously this is loose, I gotta get that fixed. But this car's came a long ways in a short period of time. Can't wait to get it going. We're actually fixing to go drive it for the first time. I haven't driven the car. Obviously it's not completely buttoned up on the front. There was some little inner fender plastics I took out. Took that one out, not that one. That one seems to be a little more secured. So I haven't driven it. We tried to drive it when I very first bought it. Tires were so bad and out of round, I couldn't go over 10 miles an hour. So we're gonna go drive it. Let's go. I wish the offset of the wheel was a little different in the rear, but I don't think I could get away with anything else because of the caliper. I wish mother. I don't know why I'm sticking the key out the window like it's got a immobilizer chip in it. Maybe if anybody's watching that has a Z and they know what the issue is, drop me a message in the comments, because I have no idea. Yeah, maybe open your door. A lot of these 90s Japanese cars, it is the passenger door. You have to unlock that door to figure it out.
There we go.
Stupid. Now let's try to go drive this thing. Yeah, it has no A-pillar. I gotta get a pillar, because obviously they had a pillar attached to those gauges. Not really an external gauge fan. It's not, it was cool for the era because we didn't have modern ECUs, but this car is going to get a modern ECU where we'll be able to data log all that stuff. It's supposed to make, just from my research on these turbos and this motor combo, should make 700 all day, but it's on pump gas. And supposedly, after talking to a few people that knew this car back in the day in Dallas, this car made like 640 on 93 octane. Which is probably what the computer's chipped for, because this doesn't have a modern standalone. It's got an old EEPROM, so I'm going to do that later. I'm going to pull the computer out. It wants to make it. You can hear it. That was like 20% throttle, and it was making 16.1 pounds of boost. So this car is going to be a rocket when it's all lined out. So my buddy Eric Denny down at ECU Masters in Dallas, Texas, we've been working on a few projects together. They make an RB26 ECU for this. And ECU Masters is a really good ECU. It's pretty affordable. They have a PDM solution. There's a lot of things they can do with it and not spend, let's say, Motec money. So he doesn't make a Z32 box. But I was talking to him in the RB26 box. He says he can go in, change the firing order, change a few other things, and it should work on this car. So that's our plan for it. We're going to put an ECU master on this car, get a much more modern ECU. They even have a dash for it. I don't know if I'm going to take the dash out of it. I really like OEM dashes, but we're definitely going to put that ECU in it. put some bigger injectors in it, modernize this thing, put it on E85, cross our fingers and hope that the motor's solid, take it to bid and see what we can make. Well, that's officially the furthest we've driven it. The land of 91. Hopefully this is the last tank of 91 this car will ever get. Yeah, I think those wheels really changed the look of that car.
Oh yeah, crazy to think they're even the same wheels.
I know. Then off the paint and then get the car wired. It's a what?
300zx. I just sent you pictures.
Where'd you see it at?
Go into your dad's.
Well, I haven't got the pictures yet, but it's a. Do you know if it's a twin turbo car or not?
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Even my wife knows. She knows what's up. She sees something hiding in the gym. She lets me know. Well, I know we put 12 gallons of fuel in it, and the gas gauge hasn't moved. So I may need a float.
Oh yeah.
That was a little wheel spin. Didn't expect to spin the tires. I wonder if it was just like super low on fuel. That literally spun. I have never in my life been around, owned, or driven a fast 300zx. Like, I've been around some 400, 350, 400 horsepower cars, but not what this thing is capable of. So I don't even know what to expect. I know the rear ends supposedly are pretty strong. I know the gearboxes are supposedly pretty strong. The engine's pretty robust. I was talking with Jay the other day about this car, and he said to be careful with it. Something about the main caps or main girdle likes to distort at higher RPM. So probably would be a bad idea to put some bigger, more modern brushless pumps in this car from Beachworks anyway.
That fender.
Self-clearancing itself. I hope they still make new OEM ones. Someone need them. It feels like it's almost hitting a boost cut. That's like 20% throttle. And we're rolling. Yeah, this car is going to be fast.
Oh yeah.
I mean, fast. You know what? I want to watch the wideband. I'm gonna do another little quick pull just to see what the air to fuel ratios are. Well, 1250 is pretty lean.
Oh yeah.
It's so weird. It's like sometimes you'll hit the gas and it wants to go. Like first it felt good, and in certain gears it feels like it's fluttery. I don't know. I'm ready to get this dialed in and see what the super high-kiss, the all-wheel steering feels like in this compared to the 3000 GT. So as I was saying, you know, on these cars, very primitive computer system, and there's a sticker here, you can't read it, but I think it says Jim Wolf Technology, which Jim Wolf back in the day was like the bad man for these cars. It's definitely been socketed, obviously. So I'm gonna pull this cover off just to kind of show you guys, you know, in the 90s and early 2000s, the things that, you know, the guys that were doing this before us were having to work with. Like it's pretty remarkable. So underneath this board here, this ECU looks really clean. A lot of these older Japanese computers, the capacitors will leak. I've never had one of these cars with one of these ECUs, so I'm guessing that dial you can control something. Yeah. So it's got a name on it, Ryan H. This will be the chip that they EEPROM into them, and they soldered this in, and whoever Ryan H is, I'm guessing is a guy who maybe was the owner, or maybe was the guy who did it. And then as you can see here, there's a dial here, soldered into VR272. I don't know what this dial does. It probably tells me. Self-diagnostics mode. See, like this car was pre-OBD2, so you couldn't even plug into an OBD2 port to tell what your car was doing. Like this is super primitive. A lot of you guys may have never seen one of these, so I just wanted to show you how primitive these older ECUs are. So, all right, so we're taking the fuel pump out. So for those who've never done it, you pop these little covers here. Just be careful because they are brittle. Need a 10, I believe. 12, sorry. All right, pumps are out. I'll show you guys what it looks like down in there. Yummy, yummy, yummy. So some people may not agree with this process, but this is the way I clean gas tanks. I use muriatic acid or wheel acid, but you do not want to breathe this shit. I'm just telling you, it's fucking strong. I fill these up. I put 2 gallons per side, and then I fill the rest of it up with water and let it set. You can get this at any hardware store like Home Depot, maybe Lowe's. They use it for pulls. But once again, you don't want to breathe this shit, so I hope you can hold your breath a long time like I can. And don't get it on your skin. As you can see, it's doing its thing already. It's smoking in there. Breaking loose all that junk. See, I spilt it. That's what you don't want to do. The fumes are definitely getting strong now. I'm nowhere near the car and I can smell them. So once again, you don't want to breathe this stuff. So fill your bucket up with water, however you want to do this. Hold your breath. Poured it. And as you can see, the acid that I spilled on top of the tank, it's already cleaned the top of the tank like crazy. All right, so the bucket took too long. We've got a water hose. Fill this thing up. I think we got a kink somewhere. And just for good measure, pour a little banquet in there. Helps with it. So obviously the fuel pump and this other have seen better days. We're gonna soak these in a CRC rust preventative. So we're gonna pour that. Evapo Rose CRC. Never actually used this product. I was able to get it at Harbor Freight. It's like 30 bucks for this gallon. So we're gonna pour that in there. And soak the fuel pump in it. And see what that does. So we put 4 gallons of muriatic acid in the tank, a little bit of Coors Original, and some water, and that's the trick. Yummy. So after one acid, we had it probably an hour.
Yeah.
Probably soaked for an hour. And so that's what's left in the bottom of the tank now. So now we have to rinse it, and then we'll shop back all this loose sediment out of the tank. That'll fuck your day up.
That ain't good.
Ugh. That thing is pretty clean because I used it to clean up all that water in the guest house. Brand new, folks. We'll keep changing the filters as we go. There'll be some sediment underneath this plastic thing. I think it's like a, I'm not sure what it's for. It's for probably sloshing. Oh, you know what? You can pull it out. Let's pull that thing out. Grab me a flathead or a pair of pliers. It looks like these tabs will bend up. I didn't know that.
I'm rinsing it right.
Yeah, but I gotta get this plastic thing out. There's a lot of sediment underneath this thing. Oh yeah, I'm glad I did that. Look at this. Let's just see a little handful of debris underneath it. Look at that. You can see what's in there. I mean, it's. You think the tank's clean, and underneath that plastic thing, there's just debris. Look at that. An hour of soaking in acid. Cleaned her right on up. And this thing has absolutely kicked my ass. Oh, that one's a good one. We'll go back together with this thing. Hopefully, making some race car noises here in a minute. Don't forget, you recording?
Yeah.
Don't forget this. You have to do your job twice, like I just did. If you don't have that O-ring in there, your car is gonna smell like raw fuel, and you don't want that.
We just cut a hole right here.
Yeah. Make sure you plug everything in. Drop it back down. Let's drop it and put some gas in it. That is how you clean fuel tank, get all the nasty rust out, muriatic acid. It works, as you can see. Just be careful you don't get all cut up like I do. We're about to throw a fuel filter on this thing and see what, see how she runs. Hello? 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 Hello, it's for you. Alright, so we're on loose, blow boost. So I have literally everything zeroed out on the boost controller. Like 0% boost, 0% duty cycle on the wastegate. So it should be a very, like 12 pounds of boost, 10 pounds of boost probably.
What, last drive you just turned up?
Well, we tried to turn it up, but it kept hitting fuel cut. Well, not technically a fuel cut, it was going lean and I knew it was not happy. So we'll be, this should run substantially better, especially after getting all that 30 years of shit out of the tank. Because the other night, when I recognized that we had a fueling issue, I put a new fuel filter on it, and it felt really good for one lick. Let the engine get some temperature in it. And of course, we get a bunch of crotch rockets roll up our ass. Fuck it. That's pretty good. Oh, wow. That boost said that car's pretty fast. That was 10 pounds of boost. Let's change it that a little bit. High boosts. I don't know how much that'll be, but it'll be more than 12 pounds. I felt pretty goddamn good.
Oh yeah.
I just hope we didn't already clog a filter. But that, I'm sure we'll have a couple more filters to clog before the fuel system's completely clean. I don't know if there's traffic, because I don't know how much power that is, and I don't know how this car hooks on power, so. It felt like it got fat on me. It's 10 pounds. 10.7 pounds is all that was. Even on 10 pounds, it feels really good.
Oh yeah.
Clear that out. So I got a boost warning set at 15 pounds. That was 12. Got a little more. Feels great at 12 pounds. Let's give it a little more. We'll bump up to 20% and turn the gain up to 20%. When I was trying to figure out the fueling, I knew it was either boost or fueling. I was playing with the gain settings, and that's when I realized I was watching the wide bands. I was like, man, this thing's going lean. So that's when it dawned on me, let's check that fuel filter. And I dumped that fuel filter out, and it literally looked like river water coming out of it. God, it was nasty. I mean, look at my arms from today. I mean, that tank did a number on me, but it was worth it.
Oh yeah.
Car's healthy. You know, we bought this car unknown, much like the Talon. You feel it?
Yeah.
That was over. So it's probably already clogging that filter again.
She made it for a quick second.
Yep. Yeah, it'll probably take a tank to, because all you gotta think, all the fuel lines probably have contaminants and debris and. Yeah, first gear feels fun because it's not loading it up, demanding that fuel. It's okay. Driving this thing, putting some miles on it, getting all the fluids cycling and heat cycles and stuff like that, it's not going to be the worst thing in the world for it. And just buy a 12 pack of fuel filters. I just can't believe how good that muriatic acid cleaned that tank. Yeah, once we get a lot of the car's functional like the 03 Cobra and get the Evo back on the road, get the White Super done, get this done, get the DSM done, the blue Subaru. We'll have so many cars. My goal is to put a draggy in them and go out and do some 6130 hits and have you guys make comments what car you think is going to be faster, and we'll do like a top 10 list of my cars 60 to 130. I think it'll be really cool. Already, feel it? Yeah. It's already clogging it. Crazy. We cleaned the living hell out of that tank too. And when we get back, we pull that filter apart, it's gonna be disgusting. Yeah, as soon as you hit it, it starts off at like 10, 11, 12, and then it goes like 15, 18. Yeah, it's just going lean as hell. But boy, that first hit felt good. Oh, yeah. Well, let's see how nasty the filter is. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say pretty nasty. Moment of truth. Oh, see, yeah. You see how nasty it was? Mm-hmm. Oh, still spilling. Let's see if we can find something clear so we can show everybody. Look at that. Even after cleaning that tank, that's still what we're getting out of that sumbitch. It's crazy. It's better than oh my God. That's got to be coming from the lines because the tank was not that nasty. That's wild. Crazy, crazy, crazy. But that just shows you the importance of fuel filters. Can you imagine all that going in your injectors? Not that I don't know that it's not on the injectors, but at least the filter's cleaning a bunch of it up. Don't let your car set with fuel in it, people. It'll ruin cars. I think that fuel filter's caked.
How many more have you got?
I don't have any more filters. Only about 2. Well, we're gonna drive this car a little bit. We're gonna continue to put miles on it, fill these fuel filters up until it can clean all the contaminants out of the lines and what's residual in the tank. And it may be a week, maybe a month, who knows? But I know we're on the right path with the car. I know we know what's wrong with the car. So once we get this fueling system cleaned out and it's fueling the motor properly, this car's gonna be awesome. So thank you guys for following along today. I know it's probably a little bit of a longer video than we usually do because we worked our butt off cleaning that fuel tank, but hopefully it'll help someone out there that has one of these cars, or any car that's got a nasty fuel tank. That's how I clean fuel tanks out of all these cars that I buy. It works. Obviously I've never had one that keeps clogging a filter because this one is pretty severe. But hope you guys like it. Be sure to leave us a comment, hit like, hit subscribe. We'll see you on the next one. Turbos spooling through the air filters. You hear them? That's crazy. Ball bearing turbos.